welcome to the Hudson County Show. Pat O'Melia here. You're a concerned Hudson County resident while you watch this show. And if you're in Jersey City, you're watching it live on Comcast 190. If you're in the rest of Hudson County, which is Altice, for that matter, they got a new person at Altice I'm now to deal with, so maybe there are some changes occurring there. You're watching us on our streaming networks, of course. Livestream.com, where you could download the app. You can watch on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, and there's a lot of other programming on. The New Jersey Lottery's on it. I strongly recommend that you download the Livestream app, and you can watch us live from anywhere. Facebook, YouTube, we're live simultaneously. Apple TV, Google Chromecast, the Roku system. We're live everywhere. Now, we're coming into the last week, less than a week, for the election. That's next Tuesday. Now remember, again, for me locally, we're concentrating on the Jersey City municipal elections, which we have now moved to November. Big mistake. Don't let your municipalities move your election locals to November because everything's getting lost. It's very difficult outside of what I'm doing to see if there's really a campaign going on in Jersey City. Very little campaign activity, a lot of Murphy activity, but a governor's race. Remember, it's the governor's race, Murphy versus Gardano. You have the assembly seats are all up. You wouldn't know it, but they're all up for election. You see any assembly signage anywhere? No, because nobody's paying any mind to it. Your state senator seats are up. And for us here, that's Nick Sacco in North Bergen. Re-elect Nick Sacco. Brian Stack in Union City. Re-elect Brian Stack for state senator. Same thing with Sandy Cunningham. That's our 3 state representatives. Your freeholders are all up for re-election. Do you notice any freeholder campaigning going on? Absolutely none. That's because we moved it to November. A lot of our attention, our local municipalities moved to November, Jersey City, but you look at the county and the state, everything is just swallowed up by the governor's race. Tell me if you've seen any state senator or assembly signage anywhere. I haven't. We just got lost. Remember, get out and vote November 7th. Next Tuesday, you get the government you vote for. If you have a problem with how your state is being run, your assembly representatives, your state, this is how you make the move. You make sure you vote. Don't waste that opportunity. Last thing we want to see on Wednesday is poor voter turnout. Get out and vote. It's a real privilege to do that. All right, listen, if you have a problem county, municipal-wise, consumer-wise, get in touch with me. We're pretty good at handling these situations. Go to our website, HMG TV shows. Go to contact. You can send me a direct email. These cameras are pretty powerful. You got a consumer issue? We're very, very good. We're batting like 1,000 with consumer issues, county issues, municipality issues. You know, we can talk to Fulop and Sacco and Stack and Roque, all the mayors, and you got an election in Hoboken too. We got to talk about stick. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Hudson County Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Introducing the My JCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free My JCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The My JCMC app. We belong to you.
We're back. You're watching the Hudson County Show, and you're watching it live. Watching it live. I've got a string on my shirt here. One of the things we're talking about the elections on Monday, freeholder Anthony Romano, who is running for mayor in Hoboken, is going to address the people of Hoboken live from probably this very set May change the background a little bit. There'll be some Hobokenish things behind me. But Stick Romano, Anthony, who is running for mayor, is going to address the people of Hoboken live on Facebook and YouTube and all our streaming services. And I guess he's going to ask for your vote. I'm going to tell you in Hoboken, if you're watching, I think Anthony Romano, my buddy Stick, is an excellent choice. He's the son of Hoboken. The guy has dedicated his life to Hoboken. You know, he's been a Hoboken police officer, raised to the rank of captain. He's been a teacher there. He's been a freeholder there. The guy is born, raised, and dedicated to the people of Hoboken. Yeah, that's an endorsement. And on Monday, he's going to talk to the people of Hoboken. So, well, I think the time, I think it's from like 6 o'clock. I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock. You'll see it on the Twitter and all that. Terror in New York City. You know, for the people who don't know, I host the 9/11 ceremony here in Jersey City every year. I dedicated the 9/11 Memorial Fountain back in 2002 to the 37 residents who lost their lives on 9/11, 36 of them in the towers, one on Flight 93, the flight that fought back. And every year, I speak for like 20 minutes or so, and I talk about you're not going to see terror attacks, planes flying into buildings again, nothing like that, because they're just not that organized, and our counterterrorism is that much better now. We're hearing things before they happen, but you don't hear everything. You know, they talk about a lone wolf attack, what occurred in New York City the other night. Yes, lone wolf, he was out on his own, but he's connected to ISIS. The guy wanted an ISIS flag in his hospital. He was shot by a New York City police officer. Not life-threatening because he was in court in a wheelchair. He actually requested an ISIS flag for his hospital room. I always talk about the soft targets. You know, you're not going to see the planes anymore. It's going to be malls and trains. And actually, I think I said this year, driving vans and trucks into crowds. And that's what happened here. The guy rented a Home Depot, that's Penske truck rental, at a Passaic. At first, they were reporting Jersey City. Now, if you remember in '93, when there was a terrorist attack on the World Trade Center, they rented the truck from Jersey City, a Ryder rental, and the dumbasses actually went back to collect their deposit. Boom, you were arrested. You rented a truck from the Home Depot an hour before the attack, and this guy was planning this for a year. He wanted to take out as many people as he could. And he would have succeeded until the New York City cops said, listen, these guys would have got him. They would have shot him in the seat of that truck eventually. He had taken out, killed 8, and numerous others are injured and still critical. He hit a bus, a school bus, and that damaged the truck that he rented enough that he couldn't proceed. He was hoping to get to the Brooklyn Bridge, killing people all along the way. Fortunately, he was a terrible driver, and he hit that school bus, and then he was running around. The guy's got paintball guns. What I think he was looking for is suicide by cop. He wanted to get shot, and he did, but not fatally. It's like suicide bombers. That's what he wanted to do, commit to suicide by cop, kill as many people. I don't know how we can protect ourselves against that. This type of mentality, the mindset of these individuals bewilder me. And I don't want to say individuals. These are cowards. These are cowards who killed innocent people they knew nothing of, knew nothing about, just indiscriminately killing people for a cause that is questionable at best. Actually, it's just a group of cowards. I don't understand how they go about it. Why would you want to kill innocent people you don't know nothing about? Now, keep in mind, this guy has a wife and kids in Paterson, New Jersey. His wife and kids are going to have this stigma attached to them forever. The families of the murdered individuals, they're going to remember this day for the rest of their lives. Every time they hear a laugh or they see somebody with green eyes, they're going to remember their child, their husband, their son, their daughter. And there was even children. This guy was looking to take out children. What the hell kind of mindset would have you turn against your own family? Remember, he left a wife and kids to go do this killing spree. You left your kids basically as orphans now. This guy is never going to see the light of day. He is going to be in jail for the rest of his life. And hopefully in New York, I think they have the death penalty in New York. I believe they do. Kill him. how do you go about leaving your family? How do you sit there and plan something? How can you get radicalized? You start to wonder about the mindset of these people. Is it radicalization? Is it a misinterpretation of a religion? I don't know. But enough that you would forsake your family. Listen, your kids are going to be affected by this forever. Your wife will be affected by this forever. You want to go out and kill people you don't know for an organization. Right now, he was radicalized and he was a follower of ISIS. There's no evidence right now that he ever was over at an ISIS training camp or anything of that nature, but he had a ton of ISIS videos on his phone. This is where the internet, that's where I think somewhere along the line there will be changes to the internet. You're going to find some sort of global commission that'll oversee the internet. You can't do it just in America because the internet is global, where they're going to have to do some censoring so you don't have this kind of videos. I don't agree in censorship for the most part, but if you're going to radicalize and they're going to send messages using the internet, then we're going to have to pay attention. But you got to wonder the mindset. Now, this guy, from what you heard, he's seemed like a good earner. He went to work. He was an Uber driver. Actually, Uber, I think, released that he was also a Lyft driver. What turns these? And the thing that amazes me, when you say lone wolf, I'm not sure lone wolf applies here, because the guy had a family, not some single guy, some young guy, 20 years old, that gets radicalized and is dreaming of whatever the hell you got to do with ISIS. Do you ever look at the conditions this ISIS group lives in? God, there's no end goal to this with ISIS. That the guy would forsake his family, doom them for what kind of a future when you're the children of a terrorist, kill innocent people indiscriminately for a group that you may have never personally had any involvement in, and I'm positive for a religion you misinterpreted. But the thing, how do you turn your back on your family? You doom them. You leave them basically as orphans, and your wife a widower. A widow, rather. Right, widow, excuse me. Widow. I don't understand the mindset, and that's what makes it so hard for us to protect ourselves, because these are the kind of things that can happen. I don't even know how to warn you how to protect yourself. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Hudson County Show? I'll be right back. We got Michael Yoon, we got Denise Ridley, and I think Jim Haig is coming up next. We'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. Now let's get our fix with Hudson County High School sports from the Hudson Reporter System. Jim Haig, bring Jimmy in. There he is. You're looking good, James.
There I am. I'm here.
We see you're
good.
How
you doing, Pat? How's things today?
I'm doing good. We see you improved your lighting there in the headquarters of the Hague Empire there. What happened this week in Hudson?
The Hague
Tell me what happened last week. What happened last week over the weekend in Hudson County sports, and what's coming up?
All right. Well, I was at the Hudson County Cross Country Championships at Bayonne Park on Saturday. The St. Peter's Prep boys won the team title. The young, very young St. Dominic girls won the girls team title. The boys title was won as expected by Fahid Nasir of McNair Academic, who set the new course record. I think his time was 15:30, which is brilliant. That's like one of the all-time best times in the history of Hudson County. And then the girls' champion was Wisamar Senatus of Hudson Catholic, who won for the second straight year, and her time was just a little over 20 minutes. So it was a great day, glorious day there. Nasir was very, very happy to be able to get the course record. That's something he wanted and was shooting for and got it. The weather conditions cooperated tremendously because it was not too hot out and it wasn't too windy. And obviously there was no rain on Saturday, so it was a great day. And he was able to get the course record and put himself in the history books. So that was a great day. From there, I went to the Hudson Catholic Ramapo football game down at Caven Point, and that was not a pretty game for Hudson Catholic. They needed that win to better their chances in the upcoming state playoffs, and they lost 35-6 in a game that they killed themselves. They had a ton of clutch penalties against them. There were about 4 or 5 turnovers, and it really was, it was 0-0 at halftime, and they ended up losing 35-6. So it was not a pretty game for the Hawks of Hudson Catholic. But there was a win for Ferris, first win of the season. They beat Marist 34-14, giving Coach Juan Garcia his first win at his alma mater. He's a Ferris grad. And Tennille Jackson had a great day for the Bulldogs. He had 149 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns in that win. St. Peter's Prep beat Lincoln 44-20 in a game that was played right prior to the Hudson Catholic Ramapo game. And St. Peter's Prep had 8 different ball carriers in the game. And Anthony Summy was the best runner of the bunch. He had 73 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Marauders, who look to be the number 2 seed in the upcoming state playoffs. And they look to be it looks like they're going to play Don Bosco Prep both in the regular season finale this week and then in the state playoffs as well. So they're going to play Don Bosco Prep in 2 consecutive weeks, which is a rarity, but sometimes it happens, especially in the non-publics. So Union City had a huge win over North Bergen. That helped Union City gain their divisional championship in the New Jersey Super Football Conference. Gene Alvarez had the big day in the 28-0 win over North Bergen to clinch the championship. He had 150 yards and on 15 carries and 2 touchdowns. Darvin Baroa of Union City had a huge game defensively. He had 2 interceptions and returned 1 for a touchdown of 104 yards. He also had 1 fumble recovery, 1 sack, 3 tackles, and Jose Taveras had 3 sacks. That's a huge win for Union City. I think that's going to set them up as being the number 2 seed in the North Jersey Section 1 Group 5 bracket, and it's going to drop North Bergen down considerably, probably to around the 5th seed, which means that they're not going to get a home game. So that was a huge game, not only for a divisional championship, but it also meant a lot for the seeding in the state playoffs that begin on the weekend of November 10th and 11th. So that's where we stand right now. I think Hudson County's going to have 5 teams in the state playoffs. We have St. Peter's Prep in non-public Group 4. We have Hudson Catholic in non-public Group 2. We have Union City and North Bergen in public Group 5. And we have Hoboken in North Jersey Section 2 Group 1. So 5 Hudson County teams are headed for the state playoffs in football.
All right, Jim. Now, St. Peter's is going to play Don Bosco twice in 2 weeks?
That's correct. Very strange set of circumstances, but they're going to play in the regular season this weekend and then come back again on the weekend of November 10th, 11th, and play again in the first round of the non-public Group 4 state playoffs. Just the way that it worked out. It's a quirk in the schedule, but they're going to play each other in 2 consecutive weeks.
From a game
And that very
planning
rarely
standpoint, from a
What's
game
that?
planning standpoint for the coaches, who's got the benefit here? Because seeing the same team twice in 2 weeks.
Well, I would imagine that Don Bosco will have the benefit on the second time around because they'll get to see what St. Peter's Prep is all about. So they'll probably take this first game as almost like being a learning lesson, a learning tool, and then take that to try to beat the Prep the second time around. It's really tough to beat a team twice in the span of 2 weeks, but St. Peter's Prep is the better football team, and they should win both games.
Now, does St. Peter's Prep need the game?
On Friday night, on this weekend? No, they do not.
So we're back. You're watching the Jersey.
On the weekend of November 10th and 11th. So that's where we stand right now. I think Hudson County's going to have 5 teams in the state playoffs. We have St. Peter's Prep in non-public Group 4. We have Hudson Catholic in non-public Group 2. We have Union City and North Bergen in public Group 5. And we have Hoboken in North Jersey Section 2 Group 1. So 5 Hudson County teams are headed for the state playoffs in football.
All right, Jim. Now, St. Peter's is going to play Don Bosco twice in 2 weeks?
That's correct. Very strange set of circumstances, but they're going to play in the regular season this weekend and then come back again on the weekend of November 10th, 11th, and play again in the first round of the non-public Group 4 state playoffs. Just the way that it worked out. It's a quirk in the schedule, but they're going to play each other in 2 consecutive weeks.
From a game planning standpoint for the coaches, who's got the benefit here? Because seeing the same team twice in 2 weeks.
Well, I would imagine that Don Bosco will have the benefit on the second time around because they'll get to see what St. Peter's Prep is all about. So they'll probably take this first game as almost like being a learning lesson, a learning tool, and then take that to try to beat the Prep the second time around. It's really tough to beat a team twice in the span of 2 weeks, but St. Peter's Prep is the better football team, and they should win both games.
Now, does St. Peter's Prep need the game?
On Friday night, on this weekend? No, they do not. So the league division has already been decided. Bergen Catholic is going to win that. So they really don't need the game at all. It's just a regular season game. It's going to be fine-tuning for the playoffs. That's all.
So maybe they don't show all their plays.
It could very well be. Or better yet, they come with all guns ablazing the week when it really matters in the state playoffs.
All right, we're out of time. We'll pick this up next week and see how it went. Thank you, James.
Okay.
You got
no problem.
That was Jim Haig, reporter from the Hudson Reporter System. We're going to break for commercial. Remember, we put Jim up on YouTube on his own segment. We'll be right back. It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org.
Meineke Car Care, conveniently located at 700 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City, half a mile north of County Road. Meineke, bumper-to-bumper car care. Brakes, exhaust, oil change, wheel alignments, batteries, CV joints, and so much more. First-rate service at a price you can afford. All major cards accepted. Apply for a Meineke card. Meineke, Jersey City. Stop by and let Sammy check your brakes for free.
We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show, and next Tuesday's Election Day, so I'm going to try to get as many candidates between now and Election Day. We got Tuesday and Thursday to go. Let's bring on my buddy from Ward A, my friend Denise Ridley. There she is.
How are you?
Hey, kid. Denise, we got 8 minutes. Tell me
Okay.
why you're running for council in Ward A. Tell me the whole Denise Ridley experience.
Okay, well, my main purpose for running for City Council in Ward A is because, one, I'm a lifelong resident. I've seen our ward change. I know what we need, and I know that it's time for us to make sure that we have a council person that is prepared to move us forward. There are a lot of changes that are on the way to Ward A. We see that development is coming on the west side with the University Plaza. We see that the Bayfront project is going back out to bid. And we see a few other projects that are on the books for Ward A. And we want to make sure that we are moving Ward A forward in a direction that is going to help us flourish, and at the same time, not count out our residents that are currently in Ward A. We also want to make sure that we have a council person that is very present in the community and that keeps the community informed. I feel like I'm that candidate, and that's why I decided to run, because I believe that it's time for Ward A to stand up and make sure that we are demanding the things that we want in our ward.
What are some of the big issues in Ward A?
Issues in Ward A, of course, crime is an issue throughout the city. That's important to all residents. So that's something that we definitely want to take a look at and make sure that we're working with our police department on, make sure that our police department is looking for new and innovative ways to combat the crime that's going on in Ward A. We know that our police department has increased, and that is a good thing, but we want to make sure that the tactics that they're using are productive to what's currently going on in Ward A and to be able to fight that crime. Another issue that we've been looking at during this campaign is the upcoming tax revow. We know that a lot of our residents are concerned about that. So we want to make sure that they have access to proper information and resources that can assist them through that process. Once that revow is done, should they have an issue, should they not be satisfied with their new tax bill, we're currently working with attorneys, tax attorneys, to make sure that we're aware of the rules and that we can transfer any information to our residents. So that's a big concern. We're also concerned about, as I mentioned before, development coming into the area. And we want to make sure that as much as possible, we can meet with these developers to see what ideas they are bringing into our city. We don't want to wake up and see a building next to us and not know anything about it. What's in there? Are they condos? Are they apartments? We want to have a part in what goes on in our ward.
In the development issue, are they developing there without parking?
For which project? For
With the developments that are going on in Ward A, are they developing without necessary parking?
The developments that are currently going on in the plans, there are parking. I know that a hot issue in Ward A is the development at JFK and Custer Avenue, and I've met with residents from Custer Avenue to discuss their concerns. They held a rally back in the summer that members of our team attended. One second, you're freezing up on me. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay, I think I'm back.
Hear you.
Okay, great. The development on Custer and JFK, that plan does have parking in it, and I know that residents in that area, particularly Custer and Gates, are concerned about that. So what we're trying to do now is make sure we keep an eye on that project, make sure that they are following the plans that they put in place and that are currently on the books, because parking is included. And we want to make sure that that's definitely carried out, because parking can be a big issue.
With the development, what about the 2-family, 3-family homes that are being built? I'm sure you have a lot of them in Ward A, and they have the driveway
Correct.
cuts and the garages. Is that a problem going on in Ward A?
You know, I haven't had too many complaints about the new developments in their driveways. It's a plus that they do have parking for the residents, but at the same time, that does take some on-street parking away from the residents who may not have a driveway. The major concern has been for these larger projects that might come into the area and making sure that they have parking.
Well, I'm a Ward D guy, and one of the problems we have is what we call the cookie cutter homes. They're 2, 3-family homes.
Yes.
They get the driveway, they get the garage. That parking spot is taken away from the neighborhood. It's reserved now for
Correct.
that homeowner. And the guy next door to that house who doesn't have a garage, his house is 50 years old, they didn't have driveways then, he can't have a parking spot. That's the problem we have in the Heights here. You know, basically that cookie cutter house, they have a reserved parking spot. The guy next door doesn't have a reserved parking spot.
Yes, and a lot of those houses are taking parking off the street. So while they're accommodating parking for the new resident, they are taking parking away from residents who have been there for a while. So I believe that parking is beginning to be an issue throughout the entire city, and it's something that we definitely need to take the time to look at and find some new tactical ways that we can better make sure that parking is available. Because while we do want to try our best to be as green as possible, there are a lot of residents who still drive and who still need their cars to go to work and go to the supermarket and just to travel on a daily basis. So we don't want to neglect that fact and not have adequate parking for our residents.
Now, I'm all in favor of being green and environmentally correct, but we're Jersey City people, we drive. They're the reason we have cars, like you said. We want to go food shopping. We go to Home Depot. We go to work. A lot of us don't work in Jersey City. We need our cars.
Correct.
Somehow, some way, we have to address the parking. And in Ward D, it's a big issue. And I know it's becoming a very big issue in Ward A. How do you solve that? You're going to have to work with the administration, the parking authority, and come up with some sort of a game plan.
Yes, and one of the ideas that I had, and I don't know if it's possible, but something that I would definitely float to see if it is possible, is some of the abandoned lots or some abandoned property that the city may own throughout the city. It might be a good idea to change some of those into community lots. Even if you charge residents $30 a month, I think a lot of residents would be willing to pay that. And then we've also generated additional income for the city.
Denise, we think alike. What I'm talking about in Ward D, pocket parking lots where maybe we can only take 10 cars, but you take 10 cars off the street, you're really creating 20 spots. You got the 10 in the lot, now you got 10 freed up on the street. So that's one way of doing it. There's abandoned buildings, we have vacant lots. You're on the right track there, kid. That's probably why you're going to be a council person from Ward A. Listen, we're out of time. We're out of time. Good luck. Hopefully I can get you back one more time before the election. But good luck out there, kid.
Okay, I'll definitely try. Thank you so much, Pat. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. That was Denise Ridley. She's running for election in Ward A on Steve Phillips' ticket. We're going to break for commercial. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
We're back. You're watching the Hudson County Show. You got a little bit of Jersey City involved there, but Jersey City's part of Hudson County. That was Denise Ridley. She's running for council in Ward A. If she'd like you to vote, please consider her on Tuesday the 7th. Make sure you get out and vote. Safe Streets. There's organizations. I just got an email from Safe Walk Jersey City where they want to redo pedestrian plazas across the city. I got to read more about the email. Safe Street JC, an organization that just had a community meeting at the Newark Avenue pedestrian plaza yesterday, asking for action on traffic violence. Yeah, I don't think there was any violence, and this is in regards to the tragedy of the 8-year-old being hit by a car. I have issues when we try to change Jersey City to reflect other municipalities. When I hear people talking about parking in Jersey City or Hudson County, and they refer to like Hoboken. You know, they don't study what Hoboken does with parking. They just hear little quips here or there, little statements. They don't go to Hoboken and really look at parking. Parking in Hoboken is treacherous. It is despicable what goes on there. And there is literally a war on cars with the present administration there. Again, you know, when in Hoboken on Tuesday, when you're looking for a mayor, I would strongly remember how bad your traffic has been engineered to be and how bad your parking is in Hoboken when you go to the voting booths. Again, you know, I'm endorsing Stick Romano there. Hopefully he will be a little more car friendly, that you can actually park in your town without worrying about being booted or towed. You know, in my days with the radio and the TV show here, we talked about, you know, booting, indiscriminate booting in Hoboken, where the media actually had to get involved and force Hoboken to live by their own ordinances. I have a real problem when I'm going to interview the people from Safe Streets JC, Kara, I believe her name is. We got to try to bring her in via the computer. She works during the day. It amazes me when I see people who are trying to enact change in Jersey City. They're always from a different part of the area, and they're not from Jersey City. They move from Brooklyn or Staten Island or Manhattan, so forth and so on. And to me, it seems they try to create here in Jersey City what they escaped in New York from. You know, in New York, you know, there's huge traffic problems, huge parking problems. And they seem to try to create that same issue here. Instead of assimilating themselves to the community they moved in, which was one of the arguments you heard in a lot of the debates I hosted, newcomers coming in and they don't want to assimilate into the community, they want to change the community. The same thing that goes on with a lot of these, and I believe in their hearts they want to do the right thing, and their goal is pure. But Jersey City is Jersey City. It's not the sixth borough of New York City. Do we want to be New York City? No. Do you want the congestion that they have in there? And as soon as I hear Vision Zero, you know it's New York City. And they hear these little sound bites from what happens with Vision Zero. And oh, Vision Zero, we should do that here. No, we shouldn't do that here. Jersey City is not part of New York. Now, what Safe Street's proposing, you know, is speed bumps. We need more speed bumps in Jersey City. No, we don't need more speed bumps in Jersey City. We don't need to change our streets and roads in Jersey City. What we need to do is stop overdeveloping in Jersey City, and that's what we're doing. Our roads aren't getting any wider. But where there was a footprint that had a four-unit apartment building on it, now we're building 56 units of housing on that same footprint. And we don't have parking for that. And we're bringing all these cars into the area, and that creates congestion and traffic. One of the things we should do going forward is really look at development and not having high rises everywhere. No, I don't want to see more speed bumps. And again, they were talking about various pedestrian accidents in Jersey City and motorcycle fatalities in Jersey, in Hudson County as a whole. I think there were 8 of them in the last 4 or 5 months. Some had to do with motorcycles. You know, it's tragic what happened to the young boy, the 8-year-old, and the 2 kids on the bicycle that were hit on Terrace Avenue. But those were accidents. What happened with the kids? Now, you had a gangbanger in there, and it turns out, like I said in the piece I did, you just know this guy didn't have a license or insurance, and sure enough, he didn't. Shouldn't have been driving that car. This is what I brought back about doing inspections. We do motor vehicle inspections like we did in the old days, where you had to go once a year and get a new sticker. It is very hard to drive a car without insurance and a license if you don't have a valid sticker. That's the first thing a cop sees. You're going to see that sticker and it's a year old, or you don't have one there, the cop pulls you over. And I know a lot of the plate readers can read the plates, but if the registration's valid, but the insurance is expired, or the guy's license is gone, or never had one, you don't need a license to register a car, by the way. So that's why I really think we should go back to inspecting our cars like we used to, real inspections, to make sure that what we used to call bombs in the street, now they just check for emissions. I don't want to see Jersey City become New York City, where you got red light cameras. We had our issues with them. Those things were perverted for the municipalities just to print money. I don't want to see speed cameras in Jersey City. I don't want to see, you know, the protected bike lanes. You know, there's Safe Streets in New York are complaining that the terrorist attack, Safe Streets talked about putting the boulder rods there, the protectors, that a car couldn't ride into this protected bike lane. Do you want to live in a prison? You know, do we have to have protection from everything? I don't think so. And the thing with protected bike lanes, you know, unless you're going to stay in the bike lanes all the time, then why am I have protected bike lanes if you're going to ride in the streets? Well, I have a problem with protected bike lanes. I have a problem with spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars, making these bike lanes for like maybe 1% of the Jersey City population that rides a bike. It's not a very practical mode of transportation, bicycles. You're not going to ride it when it's 0 degrees. You're not going to ride it in the rain. You're not going to ride it in the snow. You're not going to ride it when it's 100 degrees. You're not going to ride it when there's ice out there. You're not going to ride this thing to go down the shore. You're not going to ride this to go to a food order. It's just not a practical, everyday means of transportation. I want to bring the Safe Street people in here because I want to understand more about what they want to do with various auto restrictions and street design. I'd appreciate it if State Streets would try to improve the streets. We have terrible streets here, you know, and the more we try to improve it, the worse they get. The Charlotte Circle, Tunley Circle, anybody believes they're better now than they were, they're kidding themselves. JFK Boulevard and Journal Square, right in front of the Stanley Theater. That's a terrible part of the road. By the old Sears, I think that's 36th Street in Union City and Kennedy Boulevard. Terrible strip of road there. Who designed this? Some traffic engineer? And that person should go back to school and it should take his engineering diploma away because those are terrible designs. These are the things I like to talk to Safe Streets about. Again, I don't want to recreate the problems they have in New York City and bring them here. Jersey City is Jersey City. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Hudson County Show. We'll be right back. We're back. Now, my guest, as you can see from camera 2, is Michael Yoon. He is the Ward D candidate and the incumbent councilman from the Heights. Michael,
Yes,
welcome
hi.
to the studio. Been a while since we had you in here, since the debate was the last time you were here.
It was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun.
You did a good job there.
Thank you.
That basically became the Mike and Mo debate there with you two. Let's go with the Heights. You've been the councilman for about 4.5 years now.
Right.
Now that's my ward. Tell me how you feel you've done in that last 4.5 years, and then I'll correct you.
Yes. You know, actually, as you know, before I involved in politics, people elect councilman in 2013, you know me that I was a community leader for almost 30-some years. I was a president of Jersey Merchant Council almost 20 years, and the Central Avenue Special Import president and chairman probably in 18, 19 years. Not only that, you know, the old Block Association, you know, the president, not only that, the Korean community. I'm a lot of different community as a leader that try to make the place I live and the place I do business, and not only in my area, as a statewide.
Well, one of the things that impressed me was after you won your election, you ran against Sean Connors, who you're supporting this time around as councilman at large. You closed your business and you ran the Garden State News on Central and Bowers for
36 years.
36 years. You went all in on being a council person. Even though it's a part-time paid position, you went full-time on it.
Yes.
You know, 24/7, 365.
Yes, that's what I look at, okay. When you make a commitment, and you have to, as electors, you have to try to do the best, try to deliver what you promised people. But when you have like a full-time job as a businessman and do the council job, I realized that's not easy. That's why I said, listen, this is time to fold the business. Let me deliberate what I promised the people. That's why I do that full-time, you know, 24/7 as a council roles, I did that.
Now, you didn't just close the store and rent it to someone else.
No.
You made that your Ward D council headquarters, civic center, community meeting room. I've attended many of the Heights Parking Committee meetings there until they moved it away. For some reason, we were moved away from your community room there on Bowers and Central, and now we meet at the VFW.
Yes.
There's probably some politics involved as to why we moved it.
Actually, you know, general public don't understand what happened, but we gotta, you know, as electors, I have to tell the truth. Reason I have office in Central Avenue, I realized that in a councilman office located in the City Hall, 280 Grove Street, it's far from the Heights. You know, if any people want to try to see me at the City Hall, then they have to make a special trip. Not only that, it's a parking is an issue. I said, listen, something wrong here. Our city, even my district itself, almost the same size as Union City. I think we should have my office in the middle of the Heights so I can provide a better service than anybody else.
Well, I tell you, you look at campaigns. Everybody opens campaign headquarters if they can afford to do it on Central Avenue. Your opponent, Steve Fulop, and the council representative that he's supporting, opened a campaign headquarters on Central Avenue. When you took closed the Garden State News and made that your council office, you took a bit of a financial hit there because that space, as somebody who looked for space on Central Avenue,
very much.
You probably took correct me if I'm wrong, you probably took about a $4,500 a month hit on, you could have leased that. That's the center of the avenue.
You're right. If it's center of the avenue, actually it's a gold mine, location-wise one of the best. Probably rent around the $6,000 a month, easy, $5,000 a month, easy. Plus electric and gas, and also I paid all the training, cost me per month around $6,000 to $7,000 a month, come from my pocket.
Well, that's from lost revenue and the expenses.
Yes.
And as a councilman, how much do you make a year?
Well, we make like $30,000 a year, and the tax probably $25,000.
That's a good business move on your end, closing your business.
I lost average almost $50,000, $60,000 a year. But I promised the people my service, then I have the delivery.
Now, by the way, didn't you give the kid from Christian Jewelers some space in your location?
Yes.
But we got to find him a real location because he's the only guy I trust doing my watches.
That's true.
And I'm a watch. I have a lot of watches. I go down. He does my batteries. He does my repairs. Now, Christian Jewelers, they sold the building. There's some other tenant coming in, I assume. And the young guy, what's his name again?
Bill.
Bill. Yeah. He's looking for a place where he can open his own business, but you were nice enough to let him operate out of your
not only
old
them,
store.
When they have like Heights, yoga, or any other business, when they start it, try to taste the avenue or try to do that. I always willing to give us my space, try. I do that a couple of times already. And as a president of SID years ago, and I served that, I said, listen, give the opportunity. I don't want you to invest $120,000 or $500,000 for the business. Try, taste a little bit, and when you feel confident that you get in the business, then do it. So I provide a lot of different places for those kind of things.
Well, that guy, Bill, we got to help because he's really good.
Yes.
He's really a craftsman.
I'm going to make today, he's not able back to my business, my office yet because he's fixing his house. So, he expecting with the old construction, not a small minor fix. He'd expect like a month to take, but actually take more than months. So he's not back. But he promised that he will be back soon.
Well, we definitely got to get him back on the avenue. Some shape, some form. Either in some of the other, splitting some of the locations.
Yes.
A friend of mine, Joe Panapinto, owns some space on Central.
He's one of the few actually watchmaker in the business in Georgia City.
Oh, he's great. I have a bunch of antique watches, from pocket watches to wrist watches. He's rebuilt them or sent them out to be rebuilt.
Not only that, you can trust him.
Yes, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Very good.
Now, getting back to you, tell me your top 3 accomplishments since you've been the council person.
Well, that's great. First things I can say that, number one, increase the municipal service. That I can do that. Years ago, when you do like a tree chimney self, people waiting for 4 or 5 years. I try to make sure top of the issue, so increase some municipal service in Height. And actually, we are like a forgotten town in the citywide. We know that the mayor concentrates more like a downtown. It's not the top secret, everybody knows that. But as a councilperson, actually I go every individual department of what we need the municipal service, we're always at top of that. So we have some increase in municipal service in the Height that I can say. And the 2, public safety issue. Yes, there's no question about it. We are very often meeting with the commander of North District. We try to plan to how we're going to be increase the police presence in the Height, how we can make a better place. Yes, so if you see that when I elect the first time councilperson, I get the phone call 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, complaint. But today, maybe I get the 1 phone call every 2 months now. So it showed to us that we increase public safety in the Height. Now, so parking, that's a very major issue in Height.
Well, we better wait for the other segment.
Yes.
We got about 15 seconds. You're going to need a lot of time for the parking in the Heights. All right, let's break for commercial. We're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Jersey City Show. Michael Youn is my guest, Ward D council person. We'll be right back. Plaza Autobody, 700 Tunley Avenue in Jersey City. Your local collision specialist. Body and fender repair. on-site oven-baked paintwork, fiberglass repair experts, custom and classic car restoration. All insurance is welcome. 24-hour towing available. Licensed by the state of New Jersey. Plaza Autobody, 700 Tunley Avenue, 201-222-3050. Plaza Autobody, your bumper-to-bumper buddy. We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. Pat O'Melia here. Ward D Councilman Michael Youn is my guest. He's up for re-election Tuesday, November the 7th. He'd like your vote. Before we broke for commercial, you hit a real sore spot in the Heights. Parking. Now, yes. I did all the debates here for the council, all but one, Ward F we didn't do, and I did the mayoral debate. In every debate, the hot topic was parking. And I would even tell the council people and the candidates there, says, you don't understand parking problems until you go to the Heights. How do we ease the parking problem in the Heights, not 2 years from now, not some garage someday in the distant future? How do we fix it on November the 8th? How do we make it easier?
See, they have no solution because the problem why we have a parking problem is not happen overnight. Because over the years, maybe 10, 20 years, actually nobody pay attention. You know it very well. 2001, when we built the 150 parking space in the behind the Burger King, you remember that, right?
Burger King lot,
Yes, the 150 car space. After we built the creative, actually, municipal parking, the first time in history in Jersey, probably first time in 30, 40 years, after we built, you know what happened? 2/3 lot was empty, Probably like 50 cars of parking, 100 space was empty at that time. And even City Hall, there are a lot of joke made about me. They say, oh, councilman built it, push the City Hall, built the municipal parking lot, the whole lot is empty. You know what? Today, if you go there, no parking space available.
No, there's no parking in any of the lots there.
Parking space is creative. It's not for the now, for the future. We have to look at the long-term plan. So now, we have a short-term plan. As you know that I do that there are 4 public meetings and the 4 online survey. We try to find exactly what is the problem, what caused the problem to Heights.
Now, you did pass a parking ordinance as part of the Heights Parking Committee that you founded.
Right.
And we were meeting in your place for a while. I'm on that committee, and then we left. But you got the ordinance passed, but we're going to have to revisit that somewhere down the line.
Yes, I agree with you 100% because Heights, we had the 2 hours zone 2 parking place. East side of Central Avenue all the way to Alden Avenue. We had the 2 hours parking
free
zone
for residents.
Yeah. But what has a problem too? So now we're going to have a new parking rules starting May 1st of 2018. If we study their plan May 1st, 2018, it's going to help us just a little bit. It's not going to solve the problem. So we got to step the next step, what they called setback rules. One of the problems, Jersey Heights, street parking is difficult because they have so many 2-family houses. They're building high.
The cookie cutters.
Yes. Now they cut the curb cut, so make it difficult to street parking even worse. So we have to change. Every 2-family house built, they must have created at least 4 parking space. In other words, if you mess problem, then you have to come up with a solution. That kind of rule we have to play. That's the short-term plan. Now, third, long-term plan, we got to build up the creative, neighbor-friendly parking space. In other words, we have a lot of abandoned buildings in Jersey Heights, probably around the 60 or 70 buildings. Those kind of buildings, we should be, city of use at the eminent domain. That's the times we have to
somebody brought this up once before.
Yes.
Yes.
Eminent domain, and create the parking space near the blocks, near the neighbor. You know why? Nobody want to park the car 10 blocks away. They're going to walk in the midnight. Nobody want to do that. They're looking for space some near their neighbor. Then what we have to do that way. We got to create a neighbor-friendly parking space we have to build.
You can create pocket parking lots.
Yes.
Taking those empty buildings or vacant lots, converting it into 10 or 15 spots, or even if it's 6.
Yeah.
If you take 6 spots off the street, cars off the street, you created 6 new spots. I tell you, that's a big difference.
They make a big difference.
Now, you look at Jersey City. I think the last municipal lot we opened was on Congress and Central back in 2001.
Right.
When Glenn,
you remember that, right?
Yeah, well, it was the end of Brett. Carmen Benicia was the parking authority.
Yeah, you remember
the funeral. Oh, that, believe me, I was pushing for that. That's where I parked.
So
we need more of those.
So I like to tell them, people, probably I'm the one of the business leader create up 2 municipal parking space in Jersey City. That's me. Central Avenue, behind the Burke 150, and Congress and Central Avenue, like a 20 parking space. We do that, but still not enough.
But there's a uniqueness to the Heights parking problem, because the Heights is also an economic engine. One of the things you can hang your hat on is the renaissance that's going on Central Avenue, but also the renaissance that's going on Palisade Avenue.
Yes.
The renaissance that's going on Summit Avenue.
Yes.
These are all businesses that are opening. And we gotta have available parking spots for these businesses to survive.
Yes.
You don't have parking on these strips. They'll fall back to where they were in the past, and they'll be vacant storefronts, the same thing as before. But that's the problem with the Heights parking, because when you go east of Kennedy Boulevard, they're all economic engines. Each one of those blocks, there's a little bodega, there's a little cafe, there's this, there's that. And a lot of this happened since you've been running the SID over the last years. You were a big movement on that.
So I mentioned to that, that parking is not only a Heights issue, it's a citywide issue. But I'm going to tell you this one. I think all the people have to understand, since Steve Fulop elected mayor, he sold the parking lot across from the municipal court. He's planted.
I kind of know this story, yes.
Right? He tried to sell the parking lot and at the Newark between Summit and the Kennedy Boulevard, and he tried to sell the parking lot, Hoboken Avenue, between Montgomery and what's the name of the street?
He didn't try to sell them. He sold them.
He sold them already.
The
I don't know.
Five Corners parking lot was sold.
Actually, he's the one of the mayor sold most municipal parking lot compared to any other mayor in history of Georgia City.
The parking lot over by the county courthouse, that was sold.
You know that, right?
And none of that money was reinvested back into parking. Now, this isn't nothing Steve hasn't heard from me before.
Yes.
As I said, Little North Bergen has more municipal parking lots than Jersey City.
See,
and there's a problem
That's
there.
why this election is very important. People who have to understand problem what we have, where they come from, the problem. I wish we build a more municipal parking lot in the citywide instead of we create more space. Actually, under this subdivision, there's so more parking lot to develop than anybody else.
We have to create more parking, and there should be money to do that because of the sales of the other parking lots. We should reinvest that.
And another one, actually, if he's a mayor, he should be allowed to step to New Jersey. We have a lot of illegal driveway parking. Actually, those ones cause problem too. But those kind of people, they get the benefit, illegal activity for illegal parking, but they get the benefit out of it, but they not pay extra tax for that.
Well,
so we have to be liable to step to New Jersey. If we have illegal parking driveway, they should pay extra fee from city of Jersey, certain period of time. After that, we save those dollars fee, and we should use that fund for build up the parking space, create the parking lot. Those kind of fund, we have to do that without increase taxpayer.
Before we do anything with illegal driveways, we got to find a place for those people to park their cars. We have to create parking.
Yes.
I don't blame those people for the illegal driveway.
I'm not blaming them
eventually,
too.
you can't park.
Yeah.
So these people put the parking lot, the driveways in. Listen, I respect them because they want to come home and have a quality of life.
So we have to give them grace period. Give the opportunity to. So we got to work together to solve the problem.
You got no. Listen, I'm with you about the illegal driveways, but there's got to be a place where they can park.
Yes.
We just can't take parking away.
No.
All right, listen. November the 7th, you're up for election.
Yes.
Good luck to you. I think you're going to have a very successful campaign and an outcome. Michael Yoon, Ward D, is looking for your vote. Make sure you vote on November the 7th, Tuesday. I'm Pat O'Melia. We're going to break for commercial. Mike's going back to his headquarters on Central Avenue. That's also his community center, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. You just seen Michael Yoon. He's looking for your vote. Ward D in Jersey City. I'm out of time. We did a lot of interviews here today and a lot of news. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you on Election Day next Tuesday. Good night.